But Dana, real quick, who's the winners and who's the losers?
From Chicago.
Yeah, who's the winners, who's the losers in this healthcare debacle?
I think, honestly, I have to say, speaking as someone who did not like this health care bill, and I didn't protest along with millions of other Americans only to get Obamacare 2.0, I think for now, and this is tentative, I think that the American people have won. I think we need Jim Jordan's 2015 bill. Let's do a clean repeal that has a 2-year grace period so that we can put a market-based plan right there and take over Obamacare, because the way it is right now, this compromise still funded Planned Parenthood. It was a 1-year bait and switch. Thomas Massey was completely accurate in noting that. It was a 1-year bait and switch. We were still going to fund Planned Parenthood. The structure, the regulatory structure was still in place. The penalty was still in place. The subsidies were still in place. It was like Paul Ryan rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic and telling America that the hole's been fixed. This was not a repeal. It was a fix. That's not what we protested for.
But it was a $1 trillion tax cut that would have helped push forward the tax revamp that was coming down the pike.
We can still do that. That can still be done. I didn't buy that coming from some of the establishment and folks like Paul Ryan in the House. I didn't buy that was going to be a hurdle for tax reform, because you still have time with Jordan's bill. There have been other compromises that were better. And look, I'm not a purist. I know that I'm not going to get everything I want, but we have to realize you can't get even a percentage of what you want with the same regulatory structure in place. And a 1-year pause on funding Planned Parenthood? Come on, that's no deal. We can do better. That's what we elected Republicans for. That's what we have this administration for.
But Jim Jordan's plan never would have gotten past the Senate.
They always say that, though. We heard, Brian, in the past that, well, we have to have the House in order to repeal Obamacare. We got to have the House and Senate. Now we have to have the House and Senate and the White House. And now we're hearing from Republicans that, oh, well, if we pass it, then, well, you know, we're going to have to be able to just do a fix. Otherwise, we're not to be able to get tax reform. They keep changing the story every time. They need courage. They need a spine. They need to do what they were voted for. Remember in 2010, everyone said that they were going to lose big in 2010 when they stood up. And they stood up, and what happened? It was us grassroots conservatives. It was us Republicans that gave them that majority in the House. And we turned around, gave them the majority in the Senate, and we gave them the White House. So now it's time to see some results. Let's do a little bit better. Like I said, I'm not expecting a full-on 100% everything I want, but let's at least get rid of that structure and out of control.